Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the kitchen. Today, we're going to talk about sourdough and sourdough starter. This is a topic that seems to intimidate some people, but it's really not that difficult. In fact, it couldn't be easier to get started. I'm going to share the secrets with you. There are only two ingredients to sourdough starter. There's flour and water. That's it. I think you can use just about any kind of flour that you want. I would stay away from the bleached all-purpose flour just because there's not enough natural goodness left in there. I like to start with whole wheat flour. You could use something more exotic. The brand of flour doesn't matter. Store brand is fine. You add flour and water in equal measures. I will be adding 1 cup of whole wheat flour. You will also need some kind of non-reactive container. Could be glass, could be food grade plastic, stainless steel, ceramic, whatever you have. Next, you add 1 cup of water. Could be filtered water, could be bottled water, could be tap water, whatever you want to use. Next, you want to give it a good mix. The idea is not to leave any dry flour in the container. So a container that you can see through might help you in that regard. You can see that there's some dry flour on the bottom, and I'm scooping all of that up. You want to try to get all of the flour off the sides of the container, because obviously that would just dry out and it's not going to cause any harm, but it doesn't do you any good either. That's what it looks like when you're done. It's almost the consistency of a natural peanut butter or chocolate mousse or something like that. It's thicker than a batter, but thinner than a dough. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. The next step is just to wait. Let it sit on your counter for 24 hours. You could cover it, but if you do, make it loosely covered. It has to breathe a little bit. And you could also leave it uncovered because the air is full of natural yeast, and that can only help. I like to put my sourdough starter on top of the dishwasher. When I start the dishwasher, the countertop above the dishwasher warms up a little bit, and the colony likes a little heat. In 24 hours, it is time for step 2. Take half of this mixture and get rid of it. You could throw it in the garbage or put it down the sink. But if you put it in the sink, make sure it's well diluted. You don't want to clog up your pipes. After you have discarded half of the mixture, add 1 cup of all-purpose flour to the sourdough starter. Not the wheat flour anymore. We're done with that. This time we're adding all-purpose flour and then a half a cup of water. So again, it's 1 cup of all-purpose flour, a half a cup of water. Give it a good stir. Make sure there is no dry flour and leave it alone for another 24 hours. We are switching to feeding twice per day. Now, do your best. It doesn't have to be precise, but approximately every 12 hours, we're going to discard half of the mixture and then add a half a cup of all-purpose flour and a 1/4 cup of water. But if you just can't fit 12-hour feedings into your schedule, don't worry about it. Feed it once, it'll be fine. You should start to notice the aroma of yeast in your starter. That's good. That's what we want. And bubbles will start to form and bulk up your starter. It might even double in size. That's perfect. It might take a week. I think I had to age mine 3 weeks before I was able to use it. Just be patient. Keep feeding it, keep discarding half of your mixture each time. Is it wasteful? It's the process. This is the sourdough starter I created back in September of 2023. I just pulled it out of the refrigerator. That's the thing. You can feed it once a week and stick it in the refrigerator and it's perfectly happy. If I were to feed it right now and stick it on top of the dishwasher, in a few hours, it would get all bubbly and probably overflow the sides. This is a very healthy, happy colony. I wanted to emphasize that this is not a difficult process. This is nature in action. Nature wants to do this. Nature wants to make sourdough starter. You just simply have to make the conditions right and let it go. Sourdough is simply a natural yeast. If you are interested in making your own sandwich bread or artisan bread, sourdough is a great way to get started. The basics are very easy and inexpensive. Flour, water, salt, sourdough starter. That's it. We'll talk more about sourdough in future episodes, but in the meantime, I invite you to get started on your sourdough adventure, and thanks for stopping by.